So I have a Pimax Crystal. First up, let me say thank you to MRTV who hooked me up with Pimax, who have loaned me this unit to test and make content on, and unfortunately give back to them in a few months' time. So I want to get that out the way and say yes, I was given this free to test for a while, but my reviews are totally honest. Pimax have actually said they just want honest reviews, so for better or for worse, they will be honest. And as you know, I'm quite hard to please with VR headsets. In Auto Mobilista 2, what I'm going to do is be in an open top car, and I'll put it on overcast, because if you see my other videos, things I don't like, it's obviously mirror and pixel inversion, and I found for me both are quite apparent in like a grey screen, so like a cloudy sim. So that would be good to look at that, and then I'll jump into nighttime and see what it's like, the black levels for me compared to say the 8KX. I haven't actually looked for it. Right, let's not hit the IPD button, and hopefully I've got the headset roughly in the right place. Wow. Okay, I mean instantly, like the, if you see my aero video, I hope this is in the right place. I'm not hitting too many plosives. Like the aero video, the Varo aero video, yeah, the sharpness has hit me straight away. The clarity is a smack in the face. Now this is aspheric lenses, is it? Which, much like the Gear VR lens mod you could do on the HTC Vive and Vive Pro, with that, if you didn't have the headset on perfectly correctly, horizontal lines would be warped. Now, if I move this up on my head a little bit, the top of the building in front of me is warping, and if I move it down, it goes the other way. It's the same sort of thing. Just move it till it's right on your head, until the levels are horizontal, like that. And I haven't done any adjustment really. That's pretty much spot on. Obviously, it might change as I move around. I'm trying to grab a wheel. That's a sign. That's a good sign, isn't it? I'm trying to grab a wheel. It's not there, so that's indicative of the actual level of immersion I'm hitting. I don't do that usually. Wow, but no, this is a very real looking scene. Auto Mobilista 2 can be quite oversaturated, but in a scene like this, let's get it somewhere roughly about there. So the black levels just from here are pretty darn decent. I mean, that's looking nice out there. Let's go. So let's have a look at the sky. I've said what I want to look for. Now, pixel inversion is a thing that I'm always on about. A lot of people don't know what it is, can't ever see it. I've seen it in basically every headset, and I've already noticed a tiny bit, but I'm looking for it. I noticed it low on the horizon there, where the sky's just a tiny bit brighter. It only shows up with head movement. If you keep absolutely still, the lines go away. What it is when, as you move, lines can appear very, very faint. And trust me, your headset will have it. I guarantee I'd find it in your headset, even if you think you haven't got it. So I'm very susceptible to it. But that's probably the least I've ever seen it in any headset. My 8KX originally had it quite bad. Pimax were cool when sent me a utility Pi shell, I think it was, back in the day, and you could use a firmware, then use the volume rocker bottoms, like tuning your TV, to tune out the pixel inversions. Fantastic. That should be available all the time for every headset, even this now. Like, I probably couldn't get it any better than this, to be honest. That's basically none. Right, next up, mirror. No mirror, no patches of mirror that I can see. You know, I can tell that there's a screen there, if that makes sense. You know, it's not like I'm looking through a window. I know I'm sort of looking at the screen as I move around, like any headset, really. It's pretty darn good looking, I've got to be honest. Right out of the box. People are going about chromatic aberration. What do I see there? Right, no chromatic aberration in front of me. I guess, yeah, I can see it at the far left, the far right, so like the fence post there, if I just move my eyes over there, I can see some, but as I turn my head in, it goes away, so there's none actual in my main vision, which is fine, better than some headsets, certainly better than, say, the PSVR 2, which I find has it quite bad. But just the clarity, good grief. that it's like a new game again. It's stunning. My 8KX, well, I've had two 8KXs and they're both the same, even though my IPD is like 64 average, and the IPD could supposedly go lower to that, what, maybe 57, 50, I can't remember. It wasn't low enough. The lenses would not get close enough to get the sharpest point. I had to turn my head and look wide a bit. So, you know, as good as the 8KX was, most of the time it wasn't as clear as it could be, but this is just, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Performing great. Usually around the 8KX at 75 hertz. Hit that no problem. We're at 90 here. We're obviously hitting that fine. I've got no motion smoothing on. Steam VR is at 100%. Render scale's at 1. Right, just jumping in from the future. I played around some after I recorded my initial impressions. I discovered I actually, in fact, was running the Pimax software balanced, which is like 0.75 of its render scale rather than 1, what I thought I was at for Automobilista 2. So as good as it looked, it wasn't even as high resolution as it can go. So I tried it at 1, and yeah, with a full grid, it wasn't quite hitting 90 FPS. So just so I'll make that clear. But later on down the line, I'll be doing benchmarks and stuff anyway. But let me just quickly jump in and point something out. Okay, so we're back in AMS2 here in a mod car, Lamborghini. Can't remember actually what model it is. Pretty awesome though. So as it was, I'm actually on 0.75. We're not even at its sort of native resolution. You know, it's 1 on the render scale with downsampled at 0.75. And look at the MFD here. You see that tiny writing: oil temp, oil pressure bar, fuel level 1. Put my head right back in my seat, I can still read that. That's tiny writing, and to be able to read that this clear in VR, and we're not even at its full resolution without going above and beyond into super sampling, that's just crazy. And everything's basically as high as it'll go in game, I think. Maybe MSAA or whatever might be a medium. But it looks fantastic. The field of view is better than I thought it'd be. It's a square field of view, I've just realised. Yeah, it is a square field of view with rounded edges, but not like the Vive Pro 2, which was a letterbox. This has got very good vertical field of view. So yeah, it's a pretty good vertical field of view. Obviously, it's not going to be 8KX field of view, obviously. That's the 12K is meant to be that, or even bigger. So the vertical's good, the horizontal is decent. It's better than I thought it would be, certainly. Not restrictive in any way. I don't... The impact of clarity and resolution, and like the contrast with the dark to light, even on this overcast day, is hitting me as such a massive upgrade that the slight loss of field of view is nothing. Oh, it looks gorgeous. Wow, it looks gorgeous. I think I can see what people are talking about there, the slight... Okay. I mean, I haven't fiddled with any settings like the back, like local dimming and stuff. It's just all as it was. So I can see like the blooming effect, I guess you'd call it. So right now, when I'm going through a dark bit, there's almost like there's a slight bit of fog around my arms. Bit strange, but when it actually goes black, that's a big improvement over the 8KX. But yeah, I'll have to fiddle with settings a bit because yeah, there's sort of like some cloudiness a little bit, bloomage, whatever you call it, where it's obviously there's lit areas going into the dark. I don't know the technical terms, but yeah, I can see what people are saying. It's almost like there's almost a ghost image of myself sat in the car here a little bit. It's weird to explain, but that's, yeah, I'm sure I can fiddle with settings, better or worse, but it's a big improvement over the 8KX, the black levels. The clarity. Oh, that feels like a huge jump to the 8KX, especially because, yeah, I didn't have the clearest point, center of my vision. So compared to just how that was day to day for me, compared to this is like, it's like putting on the Aero all over again, but better, because this hasn't got the distortions that had. Yeah, in fact, I haven't even mentioned that. No distortions. I haven't noticed anything. It's got the clarity of it, better blacks, and we're running beautifully. We're running beautifully. No motion smoothing, obs running, which is always a bit of a hit for me. I wish I'd turned off the proximity indicator, but I'm not doing it again. I wanted you to see me doing it first time, and that's just how it is. Oh, it just looks gorgeous. The colours are looking, oh dear. Colours are looking great. Okay, that'll do it. I don't know how, oh my god. It said ignore driving. Yeah, that'll do it. I just want to do a quick first impressions, and really to see if there's any positives or negatives that jump out at me. And yeah, it's really all positive for the most part. Obviously I need more time with it to see, because, you know, I want it to be all positive, so there's that psychological aspect, I suppose. I've got to see if problems creep in, things I don't like, but certainly massive jump clarity wise over the 8KX. Happy with it and looking forward to spending more time with it. Obviously I've seen all the videos, a lot of people, the problems people have, so I'm going to look into them further and see if I can find the same issues other people have. But any comments or questions, drop below and I'll always try to answer. That'll do it for now. I'm going to sign off and just carrying on my own. I'll catch you later. Cheers.